everyone. I am Kanisha Grayson, founder and CEO of The Art of Applying. In case you are unfamiliar with our company, we help people from all over the world get into the world's best policy schools, business schools, and law schools, and get money to pay for it. And today I have one of our clients here, and his name is Tiru, and he has graciously volunteered to share his story. Hi, Tiru.
Yeah, hi Kanisha, and hi everyone. I am Tirumala Venkatesh Kagundi. You can address me as Tiru, and I am from India. I am a career civil servant from India, and I have been working with the Art of Applying while applying for the public policy schools. And I'm very happy with the results that I have got today.
Oh, fantastic. So let's hear about the results. What are the results you've gotten so far, Tiru?
Yeah, so I have applied for 4 schools this year, the Harvard Kennedy School, the MPA 2 program. I have applied for the Princeton MPA. I have applied for the MIT, the Technology and Policy program, and University of Chicago, the MSCAPP program. So the current result that I have got now is MSCAPP. I have gotten with some funding from University of Chicago. And I'm very, very hopeful and positive about the rest of the schools. The results are shortly going to come out by the end of February or by the mid of March. So I'm looking forward to that now.
Oh, very exciting. So just to reiterate, you applied to Harvard Kennedy School's MPP, the Princeton MPA, the MSc APP at U Chicago, Harris, and then was there another school?
The MIT TPP.
MIT TPP.
And the Harvard Kennedy, the one that I applied is not MPP, it's MPA2.
Oh, MPA2, great. That's what I did, Tiru. Yeah, yay for the MPA2s. Good. Sorry, thank you for the correction. Wonderful. So far we've only heard back from U Chicago Harris, and you said you got some funding. How much did you get?
Yeah, I got $15,000 as of now. And from the reviews that I have seen on the Grad Cafe, I think that's one of the better side of the funding that you can get at University of Chicago.
Fantastic. So you got $15,000. Now, is that for 1 year?
No, both years.
For both years total. Okay, so you got, okay, fantastic. Oh.
It's per year 15,000. So it's total.
So you got 30,000, Tiru.
Yeah, actually.
That's fantastic. Wonderful. So without talking about the investment that you actually made, because we like to share that during the breakthrough call if the person's a great fit for us, just talk to us about, do you feel like it was worth making the investment to work with the Art of Applying?
Absolutely. Okay. And I come from, a little bit about the background how did I land up with TAOA, because I had very good GPA, I had very good GRE scores, and I had applied last year to Harvard Kennedy and to Princeton. Of course, given my job and the hectic schedule that I have, I really could not focus much on the application process. But then I thought, because I am good and because I have done so many things in my life, so I think I should be walked through, and I applied just like that. But both the schools, in fact, in Harvard Kennedy, I got waitlisted, and at Princeton, I got rejected last year. And that's where I started thinking that, okay, probably these schools need much more than what I'm actually thinking about the application process. And that's when I landed, I started Googling, I started looking up, and I came across TAOA. And I must tell you that it has been a fantastic journey for me, because I discovered a lot of things that I probably would not have thought had I got into last year. So that it was a self-revelation, because the consultants that I worked with, they really gave me a lot of points to ponder about, a lot of points to think about, a lot of introspection that I used to read earlier, that you should introspect while writing your application for these schools. But I never really did put that kind of thought into that. So it was more of a journey for me with TOA than anything else. So I feel that it was a good return on investment for me.
Oh, wonderful. And for everybody out there, when Tiru says TAOA, he's talking about the Art of Applying, just in case you're like, what is that other thing? Is that another school? Wonderful. So Tiru, you're a reapplicant. I love when we have reapplicants as clients, because you know what it's like both sides. You know what it feels like to do it on your own, and you also know what it feels like to get the results you got. And you also know what it feels like to have the expert support, structure, and guidance. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about that difference? How did it feel when you were applying on your own, and how did it feel when you got the results, a wait list and a rejection, versus how did you feel while working with the Art of Applying, TAOA, and working with your consultant and expert and in the community and getting the results you've gotten so far?
So, yeah, so coming from both the sides, as you said, right, last year it was very painful. The results were very painful, but then when it comes to the application process, when you're alone, you're alone. You go to the grad cafe forums, you go to here and there, you see internet, then you rely on some of the friends who might have come from those schools, but then they're really not there to help you out or guide you and things like that. You might share your essays and they might give one or two inputs here and there, but I mean, that's it. And it's not fair on anybody's part to disturb somebody and say, oh, hey, this is my essay, can you read it? And somewhere you have the hesitation also when sharing your very personal stuff that typically goes in an application, sharing your heart out to somebody. So that becomes really a very limited set of people, like your spouse or some very close partner that you can share with. And unless a person has a real expertise in that area, I don't know how good the suggestions are or how, I mean, helpful they are when it comes to the application process. So that is a big difference when you come to professionals or the consultants in TAOA, because they have worked with hundreds of candidates and they know exactly what the policy schools or any MBA school is looking for. So that being the case, they give sometimes a perspective as to how do you present the same things. To give a very, very concrete example, I can tell you, I have worked in private sector and in the public sector for last 14 years. So I come from a civil servant background of, let us say, 8 years, and I can show a lot of things on my resume. But the way I had put last year was, it was more verbose, it was more in terms of paragraphs, it was not quantified in the way that it should be quantified. So this time when the consultant looked at it, she gave me a very good input that this has to be quantified in bullet points. This number has to come out like that, because she was impressed with the number. She said that, why are you not putting it on the resume? I had a list of publications in the op-ed and open editorials in the leading national newspapers. Mm-hmm. And it was coming out in a very bland way saying that, okay, some articles published here and there and the list was, but she put it properly. And she said, this should come like this and that you have to project. So these inputs and these kind of guidance you generally don't find in open forums. Nobody will get into your resume, look at it and say, hey, I think probably you should project it better. Of course, you can't expect that your consultant will write your essay for you. That is not fair also. But then the kind of inputs and the guidance, and you have a friend around who is looking at your essays and giving you those inputs. So when you are submitting your final application, you are actually confident that, yes, this is what I wanted to actually say. And it has come out. And you have spent those hours introspecting, you have spent those hours thinking about what you exactly want to do in life. And you have somebody as a friend who is there to always listen to you and say, hey, I think you should probably introspect and think about this a little more. So that, I think, is a very positive thing that comes across when you join people who are experts in the field. So I thank you for that.
Oh, thank you, Tiru. So I have all kinds of questions I want to ask. Let's start with, you mentioned when you first applied, you felt like, well, hey, I have a great career in the civil service. I have a really strong GPA. I know the people watching, they really want to know your stats. So please share whatever you feel comfortable sharing about your numbers, meaning age, years of work experience, GPA, what you studied, and anything you want to share with us about your work experience. Basically, people, I know when they're watching, because I used to spend a lot of time as a professional admissions consultant in the forums answering people's questions. So I know people always want to measure themselves against the people who have had great success. So whatever of your stats and your applicant profile you feel comfortable sharing, go ahead and tell everybody.
Yeah, I mean, before telling that, I must tell that the stats, actually, I have seen people getting in with like lesser GRE scores and lesser, GPAs and so on. So nobody should get bogged down saying that, okay, fine, I don't have that kind of GRE score, so probably I'm not that good at it. It's not so. Because last year, despite having all these good scores and good GRE, I didn't make it. So having said that, I am an engineer basically. And I feel ancient because my engineering got over in 2002. And at that time, I had a GPA of 4. So when I graduated, I had a converted GPA of 3.9 out of 4. Then I have also done a postgraduate diploma in international business from a leading institute in India at IIFT New Delhi. And there my GPA that was a 4.33 scale. I had 4 out of 4.33 there. And I had a GRE score of 164 in verbal. I have a GRE score of 169 in quantitative and 5.5 in AWA. So that's the score. I have around 6 years of experience from very good private sector engineering industries, including Airbus, where I was working in the area of flight controls, system design and modeling. And after that, I had a very good career. I have still a good career with the government of India at fairly senior level. I'm currently posted as Deputy Director General of Foreign Trade, and I look after a vast jurisdiction in the northern part of a state called Gujarat. So with that kind of background, I came last year and had applied, and I didn't make it. So that's nothing to be discouraged about. Your stats may indicate something, but in the end, it's something else that might matter: your essays, your SOPs, and how you present your resume, and so on. So yeah, so that's fairly where I come from.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing all of that. And Tiru, I love that you said twice that you keep reminding people that even with all your amazing numbers and stats and nearly perfect grades, really high GRE score, that when you applied on your own, you didn't get in. So I really want everyone to listen to Tiru and understand that it's not about being perfect on paper. It's about having the whole package, having strong numbers if you do, but then also having a really compelling story and being able to quantify the results of your efforts and really make the parts of your application shine that most matter to admissions committee members. And it's really hard. It can be really hard to know what parts of your background are interesting to them, because for you, it's all kind of things you've done. What parts do I share? What parts matter? What parts do I turn the volume up and what parts do I turn the volume down? So thank you for sharing all of that. So Tiru, how did you find the art of applying, and how long had you known about the art of applying before you decided to reach out for a breakthrough call?
To be honest, actually, I I had seen a couple of your blogs, Kanisha, in fact, before I even thought about getting into art of applying or something. Last year, while I was applying, I was Googling, generally about how do you write an essay and what are the points you should take care. And your essay comes up, like in the Google search, even in India, it comes up top. So there I had gone and seen and I read it and I felt, yeah, this makes sense. This actually makes sense. But then I never took it seriously in terms of joining art of applying or thinking about that. But then I knew that, okay, fine, there is TAOA and it exists. So after the results came out, I went back and started looking at it in a different light as to probably I am missing something somewhere. So there it was. I felt that probably these points, though I read it last time, I didn't actually assimilate the inputs that were given in those points, though it was very well there in the public domain. Still, I don't think I have done it to that extent. And then I felt that probably I need another fresh set of eyes, probably a consultant who can look at the essays and tell me exactly what's going wrong. It's not that I want somebody to write my essays or something like that, because I'm good at writing. But then I wanted somebody to look at it and say, hey, probably, this is what it is. You should look at this point or strengthen that point. So that was my initial expectation. So then I had the breakthrough call. And in the breakthrough call, I was walked through the process as to how it will be an intensive initial session where some guidance will be given and so on. So I basically wanted to go ahead with it and see as to how it goes with. And then I talked to my spouse. I said that, okay, this is the thing. So we are going to buy into this. Let us see how that works out. And she said, fine, fair enough. It sounds reasonable to me. So let's see how that goes. Because I can't go on applying year after year after year. No. I have a very limited window. This is the part in my career where I'm transitioning from a relatively, in terms of policy making, a relatively junior to a middle level policy maker. So I was thinking that this is the time I should do the course. And this is the time I should take whatever help comes my way. And that's how I ended. And frankly, it was the perfect thing to do at that point of time.
Oh, I love it. That's a great quote. It was the perfect thing to do at that point in time. Beautiful. So good. So with the breakthrough call, it's a intensive, in-depth call. Did you have any fear before the call about what might happen or anything like that? And it's okay if you didn't, but a lot of people have a lot of fear about booking the call. I don't know. I think it's maybe they're afraid that, well, this means I'm really serious. That means I'm really gonna move forward. And what if they say they can't help me? I'm not sure. I would just like to know what your feelings, if any, were when you were
No,
booking your call. Yeah.
I was very clear, but my only fear was it should not be a hard sell kind of call where the person is trying to grab the client and say, hey, this is the place to come running. It was not like that. It was a very frank discussion, and in the breakthrough call I was clearly explained as to this is not something that we will write a replication for you type of thing. We would like to understand from where you come, and we can show you the direction where you should be ideally going and how you can reach where you should be. So that fear that, okay, fine, it's a call to grab you, that fear I had, but that was not so. It was not so at all. TAOA, that way the culture is very open. That's what I could make out from the breakthrough call and my subsequent interactions. And it's the right amount of mix that was expected in the breakthrough call. It was fine. It was absolutely good.
Wonderful. And how does it feel, Tiru, to you? This is just your first piece of news, and it's great news. How does it feel to have just such a different outcome already so far? And we still haven't even heard from your other three schools. How do you feel?
It feels great. Actually, it feels great because now I have a fallback option. Last year it was just that if unfortunately both the results of Princeton and Harvard came on the same day. I think it was on 18th of March last year, so it was devastating. Whereas this year it is not so. I have the Chicago with a financial support package that is there, and that backup is always there. So I know that I am going for a policy school next year. So now I am just
That's
waiting.
that's exactly right. Yeah,
So
and
I
I want to
feel
be
very comfortable.
yes, and I want to be clear to anyone watching out there that Titu, when he says a fallback option, Titu is very excited about you, Chicago Harris. I think you mean like no matter what, you have like a sure bet. You're going to policy school no matter what. We're just waiting to hear back. Is it Harvard? Is it Princeton? Is it U Chicago? And also, depending on how interested you are in this, Titu, we are available to help you request additional financial aid. So for example, let's say you do get into Princeton, and as Princeton's very generous,
Yes.
very selective on who they let in, but then once you're in, they take very good care. So that package will certainly, if you're admitted, and I feel confident you will be, but if you're admitted, that package is certainly going to be more than the $30,000 you got from Harris. We are available to walk you through that process during a all monthly client Q&A call on how to request additional aid. So I just want to make sure that I remind you of that and remind everyone out there watching that unlike other companies that you can maybe purchase just like a few hours of coaching or an essay edit here and there, we really offer a comprehensive experience in our application accelerator where we're with you through the entire application process. For example, how you got waitlisted last year. If for some reason you get waitlisted at one of those schools that you mentioned that you're really excited about, you'll still be our client all the way through May 1st. So we'll be there with you to help you get off the waiting list if that does happen.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for that.
And how did your wife feel with your news?
She is extremely happy. She's delighted. In fact, the other day I was telling her that okay, I got a call with the consultant. She said, "Oh, great! I mean, like now you can." I said, "I already shared the news, so they are excited. So we are having a call with them and interview. So, I mean, the entire family is happy. So we are looking forward to move next year.
That's right.
We are already in the year.
So no matter what, you're going to be in some real cold weather next year, no matter what, because you're either going to be in Cambridge at MIT or HKS, or you're going to be in Chicago, oh my goodness, or New Jersey. So I hope you have a really good coach.
Yeah, but actually I have been to Salt Lake City in Utah. So, I mean, I fairly know how it feels there. So.
Okay, good. Bring on the snow. Good. Tiru, what was your favorite thing about working with the Art of Applying?
I must say the process of working with the art of applying, because I was given a dedicated consultant. Rosette is there with me. So she actually spent time to understand as to where I come from, the initial calls that we had. So she actually spent a lot of time reading through my materials, the last year's submitted material. Then she had chats with me to understand how do I see things, where do I come from, what's my background, what's my liking, and so on, before starting to give her advice and say that how it should be. So she actually knew that probably I am coming from a background like this. I come from a bent of mind in this way, before she actually said that, okay, Tiru, I want you to look at it this way and tell me how would it go. So that process is not, I mean, I don't think it can be replicated elsewhere. I mean, if somebody says, okay, I'll edit your 500 words or something, I mean, this process of understanding the client and knowing them before advising, that is not easily replicable elsewhere. So I think that is a part that I really liked about TAOA, working through the process with a client, with a consultant. I mean, that other person is stable, and you know that when you're submitting a material, who is going to read, and you know that the person understands from where this sentence is coming from.
Right.
So that was the best part.
Good, good. And when you signed up to work with us, did you even imagine that you would end up not just getting in somewhere, but getting $30,000?
No, actually, I mean, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't actually know that I'll get in, I'll get dollars and all, but that was the expectation I had, that if I am signing up with TOA, I expect the next year I mean, I must tell you, the fee that you charge for giving this service, I mean, that is nothing in compared to what the financial rewards you earn later on. Like, for example, this particular amount that we're talking about in Ushitoga, that very well makes a way beyond whatever I have paid to you for being a client. So that way, I think there is, I mean, this is a worthy investment. I should not think about it.
Oh, great. Wonderful. So Tiru, what would you say to anyone out there who is watching this video and they're excited for you, but they're also just like, oh, can that happen for me? I don't know. Have you had a chance, Tiru, to see the celebrations happening in the Facebook group, the other results people are getting? I'm not sure, in the alumni Facebook group, are you in there, Tiru?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So, so yeah, you know, other people are also getting great results. We're mostly hearing back from the business school applicants who applied round 1 so far, and then the interview invitations have come out for round 2. So you know, it's not just you who's getting great results. It's happening all. It's like popcorn happening all over the place. Just what would you say to that person who's wondering, can this happen for me? Should I sign up for a breakthrough call? Could this really be true, or is this too good to be true?
I would ask anyone who is thinking in this direction to just take the breakthrough call, because that's where you'll actually understand the process and how it would go through, because it's a 1-hour call. You can get all your doubts removed in that call. You can ask n number of questions, and all those questions will be answered. And certainly from my experience and the results I'm seeing on the Facebook group, a lot of people, as you said, the popcorns are popping up. So they're coming with, yeah, I got through with funding and so on. So I feel that, yes, if you are in the dilemma at this point of time, I think the best thing to do is take the breakthrough call, and then take a call whether you want to really go ahead or not.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tiru. I had so much fun speaking today. It was really fun to meet you on camera, because this is our first time meeting face-to-face on camera. And I am so happy for you, and I cannot wait to hear back the rest of your results. And if we decide that we both decide we want to try and ask for even more money, for us to do that as well. Congratulations to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanisha, and thanks to the team, the TAOA team, and thank you all so much.
Thanks for watching our video. For more videos just like this, make sure you click subscribe. And if you want to work with us on your graduate school applications, visit us at theartofapplying.com or click on the link below in the description.